beloved child, I want you to pause right here and sense it. There is an unmistakable tug inside your spirit, a collision of this moment with your life, and it is not an accident. You are not imagining it. I am closer than you realize, drawing near with an urgency that cannot be overstated, pressing my voice in through the noise. I am interrupting the cycle of busyness and distraction that has, for so long, dulled your appetite for real peace. This is no casual whisper, no passing daydream. This is the voice that hung creation in the balance, the voice that is now calling your soul back from the edges of exhaustion and resignation. If you miss what I am saying to you now, you risk walking right past the very life you were made for. There is a holy stirring in the air around you, a pressure mounting, a sense that time is tightening. My voice resounds louder than before because I know how easy it has been for you to silence me with routine, to smother the deep ache in your soul with fleeting comforts and endless noise. You have grown used to pushing my gentle presence aside, telling yourself you will listen tomorrow, or when you find a quieter space, or when you feel stronger. But every tomorrow you count on slips quietly, almost invisibly, through your fingers. The chances to turn, to respond, have been fewer than you believed. The days you thought you owned have passed like the briefest sunset, and my heart cannot let you drift any further. This is not a message of punishment or scolding. I am not filled with anger. I am filled only with a desperate, fierce, and relentless love for you. I am breaking through the silence now because eternity stands before you, more real than the walls that enclose your room. I refuse to watch you disappear into numbness, pretending the emptiness in your heart has no cause, or believing that fulfillment will simply arrive with the next accomplishment, the next relationship, the next inhale, every restless night, every unanswerable question that gnaws at you in the darkness. Every subtle ache of longing that hides behind your laughter, those are my signals. I am the one calling to you from the hollow places of your life. I am longing for you to recognize that the peace you crave is not far away, for I am right here, speaking your name with the urgency of one who cannot bear to lose you. I need you to see how I have always lingered within the ordinary details of your life. The friend's timely message, the unexpected delay that caused you to reroute, the moments when your plans changed and you narrowly, unknowingly, missed disaster. You have called it coincidence, chance, or perhaps even luck, but I planned every safeguard. My hand has intercepted loss more times than you will ever know, holding back ruin with a mercy you could not see, layering your life with unseen protection. There is no detail too small for me to inscribe your name upon it. I need you to wake up to the miracle of every spared moment, every quiet rescue, every morning that still breaks with fresh hope. You have walked past doorways I quietly opened, resolving to step through them later, promising yourself it would be easier when you felt less burdened, stronger, or holier. But each excuse, each moment of hesitation, only deepened the silence between us. I watched you cast aside outright warnings, dismissing them as random thoughts. While your heart convinced itself you were just being emotional or tired, none of your hesitations have angered me, but they have carved a certain sorrow deep inside, a grief born from watching my own beloved child grow numb to my love. Can you sense all of heaven growing heavy, not in wrath, but in profound yearning for your return? The weight you feel upon your chest, that pressing, inescapable sense that your life must mean more than this, is my reminder. It is my call, proving you are made for things that last far beyond the rising and falling of daily circumstances. I have hovered close to you in every step, in every tear that went unseen, in every pause between your sighs when you could not find the strength to believe in goodness again. There was a time when you felt me easily, a song at dawn, a hush in the stillness, a soft shiver in your heart that told you I was near. Even now, in your busiest moments, I am that gentle pull inside, asking you to remember that first love, the intention with which I crafted your life. The world has told you to build walls, to rely only on what you can see and control, to conceal every wound and every weakness. And in the name of that survival, you have quieted the inner voice that once led you, as if drifting from me could ever satisfy the profound hunger for purpose and belonging that marks your spirit. I am not here to shame your distance. I am here to make my love the loudest, most undeniable reality you encounter. I want you to sense my breath in the quiet of this room. I want you to let your heart tremble again, not from fear, but from the overwhelming relief of knowing that you are seen. You are wanted and you are endlessly pursued. You may be wondering, am I too far gone? Is it too late for me? I assure you it is not. My voice breaks through your defenses not to terrify you, but to rescue you. I am offering you freedom from the burdens you were never meant to carry. What weighs you down at night? The regret, the guilt, the shame, the gnawing dread that you might have missed your chance. None of it has ever once disqualified you from my love. Even your wordless sighs and your unspoken prayers have reached me when you lie awake and wonder if your story still matters. Remember this. It is not your failures, but your forgetting of my love that weighs so heavily upon you. You are not too late. You are not beyond reach. Even when you ran from me, I moved closer beside you, softening your heart in unguarded moments. The tears that sprang up without warning, a stranger's unexpected kindness. The word of hope that arrived just before you were ready to give up. I have been orchestrating each rescue, using everything from storms to silence to blessings, all to remind you that you still belong to me. When your plans unraveled or your heart was shattered, I was the unseen presence upholding you. My protection has often looked like a missed opportunity or a disappointment, but it was always mercy, never neglect or abandonment. So settle into this moment and sense the warmth surrounding you. Place your hand over your racing heart. Can you feel that steadying? That is my spirit sharpening your awareness, drawing a clear boundary between the life you are merely surviving and the life you could truly embrace. I want you to taste what it means to be fully known, to walk in your true identity, to dare to believe that your ordinary days hold tastes of my eternity. The longing you cannot explain in the dead of night, that deep ache for meaning, is not a problem to be solved. It is an invitation to remember the garden you were made for. You do not need to fix everything or feel worthy before you return to me. There is no stronger or holier one day that will prepare you better than this moment, right now. I am not searching for your performance. All I have ever wanted was your honesty, your surrender, your willingness to notice my love pressing in, waiting for you in the small spaces between your distractions. This is not just another message drifting in a sea of voices. This is the voice that fashioned you, calling you home. I am not demanding perfection. I am asking only for the smallest turn of your attention, the slightest softening of your heart. And the stakes could not be higher. Eternity leans in close, waiting for your response. As the heaviness of my presence settles upon you, know that this is the final knock. One more invitation before the light shifts, before the window narrows. Do not turn away, little one. Let my words disturb the dust of apathy and chase away the shadow of fear. Lean in. I am still here, holding your soul in the balance with the same hands that shaped the stars. Beloved, hear my voice within the hush of your heart. Every care you have carried, every silent hope, every anxious worry, none of it escapes me. Before you even called out, I was near. Even now, my spirit rests lightly upon you, gentling the anxious places inside. This is not a distant comfort. This is the reassurance I have poured out so that you might breathe again. Truly breathe, let your shoulders drop, let your jaw unclench. Sit with me in this moment and recognize that I hold your very heartbeat. My delight, my gaze is on you. There are matters you have pressed down deep inside, worried perhaps that if you let them rise to my hands, you might lose control. Trust me, child. Control was never safety. When you awaken each morning, unsure of what the day may demand, allow yourself to picture me standing at the threshold, inviting you to surrender, not with resignation, but with the quiet expectancy of someone placing their most treasured gift into gentle, unwavering hands. Do not fear being vulnerable with me. I am your refuge, not just a distant observer. You wonder, if I yield, will things fall apart? I promise you, surrender draws you into a quiet strength that no amount of striving could ever achieve. My faithfulness does not flicker based on your confidence. Even on the days when you feel unsteady, I remain steady for you. When you lay your worries before me, notice how your breathing deepens, how a stillness settles in your chest where panic once lived. My presence sanctifies even the hardest ground of your morning with promise. Gently place your hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm. Each beat is a measure of my ongoing work in your life. I am present in your smallest gestures, the soft way you rise from bed, the hush of thankfulness before your day begins. My nearness is not a theory. It is a tangible comfort, something you can sense like warmth or sunlight. Even when circumstances press in, when the weight of the future tries to crowd in, a family concern, a daunting task, words left unsaid, draw back into this breath. Here with me, the day does not have the power to overwhelm you. I have promised to stand with you in each uncertain hour, There are doors you wish I'd opened, pathways you long to see clear, but let the certainty of my companionship anchor you more deeply than any outward sign of progress. Delight in this nearness. Even before the answers appear, your identity is secure in me. Remember how I have carried you before, in ways you did not see. The morning you thought you would break, I was your unseen shield. The night your thoughts raced and peace seemed impossible, I whispered calm into your spirit. My child, I am still doing this. My guidance does not wane as you grow. It only strengthens, reaching further into your becoming. To every repeated need, every once again. Lord, I answer, not with impatience, but with unchanging love and a persistent invitation to trust. If old anxieties try to reclaim your attention, pause and look for me. Let the day begin on a foundation stronger than your mood or circumstance. Create even now a secret exchange. Your unrest for my calm, your striving for my quiet direction. Repeat gratitude out loud, not to impress me, but to reawaken your soul to the truth that I am present. Hear the quiet affirmation, you are not alone. You have not missed your moment, and nothing is wasted in my care. Do not resist rest, little one. Many will demand your energy, but I call you to a wholeness that cannot be earned by accomplishing more. The world celebrates hurry. I invite you to a rhythm that heals. Take notice of how my peace settles over you. A gentle heaviness, a warmth encouraging you to begin from a place of assurance rather than panic. Receive this deep reminder. My guidance will meet you step by step. When doubt hisses that you must fight for your own place, remember I have prepared ground for you. You do not have to force what is meant to bless you. I walk before you into every conversation, every meeting, every unknown trial. My favor is not a reward for relentless effort. It is my goodness shielding you and making a way, even when the path is hidden. Hold on to this assurance. What feels delayed is not denied. What appears silent is brimming with my active care. With each sunrise, I offer a new measure of mercy. Lift your eyes, beloved. Notice that the world itself is an invitation to hope. The first notes of birdsong, your own lungs receiving morning air, these are my reminders that life springs up daily, not because you demand it, but because I love you. Let awe awaken first, before worry or duty. In this posture, gratitude grows easily. Hold this nearness as your promise. There is no part of your journey too insignificant for my concern. I am doing something new in you today, something tender, persistent, and perfectly timed. Let wonder guide you forward. Let stillness keep you rooted. My love writes the story of your life at a pace designed for peace. I am the God of renewal. Every morning is a beginning, even if it feels like repetition. Guard your heart with the certainty that I have not forgotten a single longing or labor of love. Your family, your hopes, the quiet dreams you dare not speak, entrust them all to me. As you do, my light continues to expand, illuminating places you once hid in shadow, calling you into boldness with each new start. I see you rising, sometimes with tired eyes, sometimes with hope flickering. Each morning brings a new layer of my mercies, and no moment is wasted. My voice is not distant or cold. It is the calm reassurance that you are never wandering alone. Striving is not your identity. You are not called to perform for acceptance, but to live from the deep certainty of being cherished. You may wonder how you can continue when obstacles seem unmovable. My strength is not a distant promise. It is a present force lifting you when your own resolve falters. Trust that I see the burdens you carry, the unseen battles, the worries for those you love, the secret dreams you hesitate to voice. I am not indifferent to your struggle. I am fiercely invested in your flourishing. Where your vision blurs with confusion, I bring clarity in unexpected ways. Where your longing aches for more, I teach you to be satisfied in my presence, even as I lead you forward. Surrendering your sense of control does not mean giving up. It means inviting me to do what only I can accomplish. Release your grip on outcomes and find freedom in knowing I work for your good in the waiting, just as much as in the breakthrough. As you entrust your hopes, your family, your deepest needs to me, you will notice a new resilience forming within your soul. The longest seasons are not empty. They are brimming with unseen growth. I reveal my faithfulness not only in answered prayers, but also in the gentle shaping of your character through patience and perseverance. Often you look around and see others racing ahead, their doors opening effortlessly. My pace for you is deliberate, measured not by comparison, but by my perfect timing. I have not overlooked you or forgotten the promise I planted inside your heart. The seeds I have sown in your life will bear fruit in their appointed season. Until then, I invite you to relish the present, to discover me in laughter and in silence, in the shifting of circumstances and in the stillness of prayer. My companionship is your greatest treasure, more valuable than any outcome or recognition. Listen closely to the subtle ways I speak, through a sense of peace that settles after a difficult conversation, through the small courage to forgive, through the comfort that surprises you in an ordinary moment. I am attentive to every detail. When you feel exposed or misunderstood, my unwavering gaze sees your true self, cherished, chosen, never hidden from my love. If you find yourself questioning, what if I fail? What if things never change? Remember that my faithfulness is deeper than your fears. Walk with me today exactly as you are, not waiting to be perfect or to have all the answers. Let your morning begin with gratitude, even when circumstances challenge your hope. I am shaping you through every act of trust, every moment you choose kindness when life feels unfair, every time you lean on me rather than your own striving. My presence is not a distant comfort. It is your daily strength, your assurance in every uncertainty. This is how I love you, steadily, unconditionally, with a patience that will never give out. I am drawing you deeper now, beyond what you have known, into the spaces within you that have waited quietly for my touch. There is a longing buried beneath your daily striving, a place where your need for safety contends with your desire for transformation. Even when you have hidden your fears behind a mask of confidence, I have seen the trembling within. I do not turn away from your uncertainty. Instead, I extend my hand, inviting you to uncover what you have kept sealed for so long. You do not need to hide parts of yourself from me. Beloved, I meet you in the full light and shadow of who you are. The questions rising in your chest do not offend me. They are signposts to your deepest hunger, and I promise to meet you at that point of raw longing. You have wondered if your cries go unheard on nights that seem so endless. Let me assure you, every whisper, every sigh, every silent plea, I have gathered close. Even in moments when peace felt impossible, I was closer still, breathing hope into you when you did not know it. You are not as alone as your mind tries to convince you. My presence is the ground beneath your feet, the warmth that settles softly on your shoulders. You have believed the lie that your pain disqualifies you. The world taught you to measure your worth by your strength, by your ability to keep going when everything aches. Stop. Let my words sink in. I see the brokenness. I see the disappointment etched into your memories. And yet I delight in you now, not some future perfected version of you. My grace is not earned by your effort. It is lavished upon you simply because you are mine. I have called you chosen, set apart, beloved, not because of your performance, but out of my infinite compassion. As you sit with this truth, notice the tension lifting from your shoulders. Allow yourself to rest, if only for a breath, in an identity that does not shift with success or failure. There is so much more to your story than what you have lived so far. Within you is the seed of resurrection, capable of breaking through even the most stony ground. Though you are weary of hope deferred and promises that seem to fade, I want you to know that your waiting is not wasted. I am working in hidden places, cultivating resilience, patience, and humility. None of these qualities would blossom without the seasons of longing you have endured. Soon you will realize that what you thought was stagnation was actually sacred preparation. I am not hurried, for I see the fullness of your journey. Hold this truth. What is meant for you cannot be stolen or delayed forever. A shift is approaching. It is one you will feel not only in your circumstances, but in the quiet confidence that begins to rise within you. Watch for this. In the coming days, clarity will visit you in a moment you least expect. Perhaps as you engage in a simple routine or pause to notice sunlight on your face. You will recognize it because peace rather than fear will fill your heart. I orchestrate these moments to remind you that I am always near, working in the mundane as much as in the miraculous. Trust that even now I am aligning the resources and relationships you need for the next chapter. You are not overlooked. Nothing about your life is random in my sight. You may be feeling resistance curling within you, skepticism, irritation, even anger that I dare to speak hope into your old wounds. Let all those reactions surface. I am not offended by your honesty. I invite you to offer them to me, just as you are. It is in your unfiltered surrender that my healing flows most freely. There is a mighty transformation available to those who risk being fully known. If you sense your pulse quicken as you read this, that is me awakening your courage. Let yourself hope again. even just a fraction more than yesterday. Right this moment, as your breath slows and your awareness sharpens, a gentle weight settles upon you. It is the assurance that you are shielded. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but you are wrapped in my mercy, hemmed in behind and before. I have assigned my presence to surround you in every battle. When doubt shouts its accusations, remember your life is covered, not because you have earned it, but because I have chosen you for purposes you cannot yet fathom. You walk not alone. Others have walked this wilderness before, and many are walking it with you now, though you may not know their names or faces. This journey of surrender, of learning trust day by day, is how armies are formed. Not by might, but by yielded hearts. You are joining a movement of the awakened, those being prepared to bring healing into a wounded world. You may feel small, but let me tell you, the world is shifted by those who open themselves to my nearness, one obedient step at a time. Do you sense it? That stirring inside is not random. It is the call to arise and see as I see. You ask, how do I let go when I have only ever known fear? I do not command you to leap all at once. I invite you to take a single step. Perhaps it is a whispered prayer, or simply admitting your exhaustion to me through tears. Breathe deeply now. Inhale my presence. Exhale your striving. Every exhale is surrender. Every inhale is infilling. You are being remade, even in your weakness. My strength is not repelled by your frailty. In fact, it is perfected there. I know there are wounds you have not dared to name, disappointments you have buried beneath busyness and apathy. But beloved, no scar is too old for my healing. The places you call hopeless, I call destined for resurrection. This week you will notice an unexplainable sense of relief. Just for a moment, during an otherwise ordinary day, you will know it is me, because the tension you usually carry will suddenly dissolve. Mark that as evidence of my hand upon you. It is the beginning of a new tenderness, the kind that rebuilds what shame tried to destroy. My child, you are not being left behind. The path I have set for you is unique, timed to unfold so that when you look back, you will see the intricate beauty of every detour and delay. Your best days have not slipped by unnoticed. They are still before you, waiting to be embraced. Are you willing to release the timeline you tried to force and trust that my timing is always perfect? There is something unfolding even now beneath the surface of your awareness that will soon spring up and surprise you with joy. I am reframing your understanding of victory, not as the absence of struggle, but as the presence of unshakable hope. You carry within you the DNA of overcomers, those marked by tenacity and trust. Even in your questions you reflect my image, for I am not frightened by doubt. I use it as kindling for deeper revelation. You are being transformed from the inside out, not by your willpower, but by my steady, relentless love. There is more I want to show you about the strength hidden beneath your scars. Your vulnerability is holy ground. Do not despise your beginnings. The smallest seed in my hand can birth forests. The faintest flicker of faith can spark revival. Your life surrendered will become a beacon for others groping for hope in darkness. I am shaping you for influence far beyond what you imagine. Watch what I will do when you agree not just with my promises, but with my view of who you are. I see the narrow place where you are standing. It feels like each choice demands more than you think you can offer. Like stepping forward could upset the little stability you have managed to claim. You have looked at the path ahead and wondered if you took a wrong turn somewhere in your past. Here is the truth. My light is not only at the end of your road. It is right beside you with every faltering step you take. The questions that torment you. What if I disappoint again? What if I am too broken? Those come from wounds I am healing, not from your identity in me. You have survived storms you did not think would pass. But now I am inviting you to more than survival. Wake up your hope. There are voices in your memory whispering what you are not. Too slow, too much, not enough, always missing the mark. My beloved, those are the things spoken over you by pain, not by me. I am the one who formed you in secret and called you radiant before you could ever imagine yourself beloved. Today I declare over you, you are enough because I am more than enough for you. Do not confuse the ache of growing pains with evidence that you are failing. I hear your secret doubts, the ones you would not confess, not even in the dim silence of your most honest prayers. I know what it is to hold hope in trembling hands, scared it will slip through your fingers if you admit you want more. Let me tell you, it is not selfish to long for more of my presence, for joy that lasts, for peace that does not escape. This world has trained you to lower your expectation. to shrink back when hope appears risky. But I have never asked you to shrink. I formed you for fullness, for a life where lack cannot define you. It is time to stop agreeing with the lies that tie your value to your struggle. You have measured yourself by how quickly you heal, how efficiently you manage tasks, how perfectly you manage the feelings of those around you. That is not the assignment I gave you. I want you aware of my permission to rest, to release the performance, to settle into being loved simply because you exist. That weight you feel as you try to measure up. Lay it down now. Place it into my hands with a quiet exhale. What relief begins as you let me carry what crushes you. You wonder if anyone else feels as unseen as you. I assure you, there are many walking unseen battles, waiting for permission to name their ache, pleading in silence for me to notice. You are not strange for feeling tender. Your sensitivity is a gift I use to reach places logic cannot touch. You are not the only one longing for a sign that you are not forgotten. That is why, even now, thousands are awakening to the same truth I am planting within you. A collective movement of the beloved, rising from isolation into belonging. You are a part of something weighty, something sacred, unfolding even before you recognize its shape. The hunger you feel for connection, for meaning, for affirmation, is the evidence that you are designed for my embrace. Pause and place your hand gently on your heart again. Feel that thrum, steady, insistent, alive. That is the sound of hope refusing to die. Say it aloud, even if your voice is only a whisper. I am chosen. I am seen. I am loved. Let the vibrations of those words travel through your body, washing away the old residue of rejection. This is not self-deception, dear one. This is you stepping into alignment with reality itself. My reality, where your worth is not fragile. This moment is a doorway into newness. Soon you will recognize what has changed deep inside, even if the world outside still looks unchanged for now. Sometimes breakthrough happens quietly, gradually, the way night gives up to dawn without grand announcement. Other times it is sudden and disruptive, rearranging every certainty. Do not despise either way. I am working in you in both the subtle transformations and the unmistakable shifts. That heaviness you carry is not a prophecy of your future. It is the evidence that your story is not finished yet. I am rewriting the old scripts with hope. The old names you answered to, broken, forgotten, hopeless, are being erased. I call you by your true name, beloved, anointed, called. As you read this, something within you loosens. A layer of shame slips away unnoticed. That is my hand, gentle, relentless, purposeful. You have not wandered so far that my arms cannot find you. Even now, as you listen, maybe doubting there is anything left in you to be called worthy, my presence draws nearer. Not because of your performance, but because my longing for you is relentless. The truth is, nothing you have done has undone my desire for you. Not a single scar, secret, or sorrow disqualifies you from the future I am unveiling. You fear you will always remain this version of yourself, haunted by memories and trailed by failures. But I am in the process of making all things new, including the very parts of you that you have hidden away. Do you feel that strange gentleness inside, almost unfamiliar in its kindness? That is me, moving through the old rooms of your heart, opening windows long shuttered by shame. Stand in it for a moment. Let the air of freedom swirl around your soul. So much of what you have called weakness in yourself, I name for my glory. You learned long ago to shrink, to silence your true ache for goodness because the world misread your story. I see every moment you bravely tried to forgive, to hope, to start again. And each time you fell, I was even closer than before. Not because I pitied you, but because you are mine, and nothing can forfeit that belonging. Today, I call you forward as one carrying light for others who still think the darkness is final. Do not underestimate the power of your transformed pain, for it holds seeds that will flourish in desperate places. There is a shift beginning, and soon you will realize why some doors never opened. They were not worthy of the treasure I hid inside you. I know the voices that still accuse you late at night, whispering how you will always be too much or not enough. Hear me. I alone define you. You are chosen not as an afterthought, but as a first desire in my heart, marked not by the labels handed down by broken people, but by my delight over you. I see the tears that have dried without comfort, the silent cries swallowed because you thought no one would understand. Yet I have captured each one, turning your weeping into a wellspring of compassion that will water the deserts around you. Breathe in deeply. Notice the steadiness returning to your chest. That peace is my promise, evidence that transformation is not a theory but an active reality in you. Your mind wonders if you are being deceived by hope itself. Suspicion rises. Can change really last? Or will despair reclaim its ground? I am not afraid of your honest questions. In fact, I planted them so that your trust would grow roots that withstand any storm, not just shallow optimism. What you are sensing now is not fleeting inspiration. It is holy ground. Recognize the difference by the way you feel both loved and challenged. My voice both heals wounds and awakens dormant strength. That stirring in you, the quiet urge to believe again, is the beginning of resurrection. Do not run from it. Let the possibility form like morning dew, gentle, persistent, heralding a new day before you even see the sun. You might be tempted to retreat back into old patterns, where numbness felt safer than disappointment. That temptation is not a sign that you are failing. It simply means you are nearing breakthrough. The enemy recognizes what you are about to reclaim, and so resistance increases. But remember, thousands have walked through this precise valley and found me faithful, just when they thought they reached their limit. You are not the exception to my mercy. Right now, pause and let yourself exhale, releasing any pressure to get this right in your own strength. I know you are tired of striving. Let me rename you, not by your exhaustion, but by my sufficiency. Sometimes the greatest miracles unfold quietly, in the shadowed places the world ignores. So it is with your healing. Do not judge progress by visible signs only. I am working in layers beneath the surface, untying old knots of self-hatred and replacing them with my beauty. This is not wishful thinking. It is the slow, sure work of being loved into wholeness. Trust this slow burn. A subtle shift in appetite, a newfound patience with yourself, a sudden laugh bubbling up where grief used to reign. These are the first fruits of your deliverance. Let them convince you. Your journey is not static. A holy metamorphosis accelerates each time you choose hope over resignation. Listen, dear one. There are promises hovering over your life that you have forgotten or deemed impossible for yourself. I have not forgotten any of them. The dreams you buried, the calls you silenced because reality seemed to mock them, I am breathing on those embers. You will find yourself remembering hope in unexpected places, drawn irresistibly toward vision again. Honor that impulse. Follow it like a map into deeper partnership with me. The time for self-imposed exile is ending. You are being summoned, not only as a recipient of grace, but as a channel through which others will taste freedom. Let my affirmation settle into the marrow of your being. You are not who you were. You are becoming a carrier of my presence in this generation. Soon you will speak words that mend invisible fractures in others, not because you have all the answers, but because you have lived my mercy. Do not shrink from this commissioning. Your authority is not based on flawless living, but on relentless surrender. You are entering territory where history bends toward transformation, and every wound you have survived becomes proof of my power. You have reached this sacred threshold not by mistake, but by a sequence of moments that I have cupped gently in my hands, arranging each detail so our hearts would encounter one another here. Even if you cannot trace the path, know this was always my plan. My longing is not for your performance, but for your presence, for you to rest against my heart as the noise falls away. You do not have to prove yourself. Just be here, letting my nearness steady your breath and soften the places where fear tried to carve its signature. I see the way your story has unfolded, full of both beauty and ache. You look back at all the places you have stumbled or settled, and sometimes shame rises, whispering false verdicts about your worth. Those accusations are not your identity. Listen carefully. The only voice with authority over your future is mine, and I declare you saturated in mercy. Imagine those old wounds not as evidence against you, but as sites of resurrection, places where I will plant purpose and bring forth a joy you thought you had lost for good. This is not empty encouragement. I am the God who builds new foundations beneath crumbling ruins. Even now I am reconstructing what was stolen, not to return you to who you were, but to reveal who you truly are. Dare to believe that your story is not over. The enemy would love to convince you that the battles have broken your spirit beyond repair. But look closer. There is a strength rising in you that was forged in midnight wrestling and silent tears. Those were not wasted hours. You are more resilient, more radiant, more aligned with my heartbeat than you know. Stand and look at your reflection through my eyes. I do not see failure. I see fire and resilience. I see the fierce brilliance of someone who refused to let go, even when hope faded. You are becoming a living testimony, a sign to those watching that mercy wins, and my promises still hold. I know how your heart trembles at the threshold of new seasons. The prospect of change can spark both excitement and apprehension. Would you trust me enough to step forward, even if you still feel unsteady? Take this next breath, knowing you are not taking it alone. Every closed door, every unseen miracle, every silent rescue behind the scenes was me, orchestrating things for your good, preventing harm you will never comprehend. Today I call you forward as one who is equipped, chosen, and covered. The shift you sense is not your imagination. I am moving in the unseen, drawing you farther into destiny. Your obedience is not the prerequisite for my love. It is the joyful response to knowing you are already my treasure. Refuse the false burden of having to earn what is freely yours. The best is not behind you. I am the God who makes all things new, who positions you in the flow of abundant life. What is beginning now will dwarf everything that came before. Cling to hope, not as a desperate plea, but as an anchor tethered to the unyielding reality of my faithfulness. Each yes, each act of surrender, has built an unshakable foundation. This is how you become unmovable, not because the storms cease, but because my peace rules your heart. Destiny calls you by name. Step out. I am with you, as close as your breath, as enduring as the morning light. You are my beloved, marked and sealed for greater things. You carry the solution for wounds you have not even seen healed in yourself yet. That is the paradox of my kingdom. Your greatest ache will open doors of compassion that will change the world. Let this truth embolden you. When your confidence wavers, remember whose voice defines your path. I am the one who held you in secret, who now commissions you openly. You and me, I and you. This is the mystery that will keep unfolding as you keep saying yes.